Lecrae and Kanye.
What?
Yeah, so before Kanye like went off the rails.
It's just amazing, like something that's so small in a song is so captivating.
Top 5 Christian hip-hop artists.
I knew you were gonna go there.
Mine's easy. Andy, what up, RG? Oh man, this is hard.
I had to pull over, I'm thinking like, Jesus is coming back, bro.
Florida should be the elite of the elite. And if I was a college football player, why would you not want to go to Florida?
Tim Tebow, I have to say he's definitely, if not greatest, the most impactful college football players, athletes, that has ever stepped on a football field.
Real interviews, real guests, no actors. Real talk, get prepared for Free Factor.
Scott Freedevore, this is the Free Factor podcast. I'm with my main man, Darrick Favors. Darrick, what is going on?
What's up, guys? How you doing? It's an honor to be here, man. Appreciate it. Very excited that I finally came down here and do this podcast, and everything. So,
oh, no doubt. I was looking forward to this because we got so much in common, so much to talk about. And I'm going to kind of lead it with Christian hip hop.
all right.
So we're both rocking our Christian hip hop swag.
Yeah.
You got your Glory shirt on.
Yeah.
You got the Amen hat. So that's from 1K Fuse tour.
Yeah,
we went to that show. We were there together.
Yes, sir.
Glory Nights tour. That's KB. We were there together. This is my minor league swag. This is Andy Mineo, words played. But man, that's kind of how we met.
Yeah.
I know before we started recording, you were talking to E. He's kind of in the background right now. He kind of asked you how long have we known each other. I know exactly how we met, and I'm going to tell that story. You can kind of fill in any details because it's kind of a part A and a part B. So
Gotcha.
we were at the Social Club Misfits VIP line waiting to get in. So they came in. They come through Jacksonville all the time at Murray Hill Theater.
Yep.
And there was a show last about a year ago. I think it was like maybe not quite summer.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah. And we're standing in line, and I'm there with my homie DJ Titus. So me and DJ Titus, him and I have been kicking it for years, going to Christian hip hop shows that come through Jacksonville. And we're kind of, you guys might have been first in line.
Yeah.
And we were probably second. So I think you with somebody, I forget. But, as we're just kind of there standing, waiting for the VIP access, we just start chatting and everything. And, just talking about artists and our love for Christian hip hop and everything. And I remember, just kind of still throughout the show, as the show goes on, just kind of seeing you throughout the night and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that was a really cool guy. So we're gonna definitely come back. But I remember later, because there's a lot that I'm skipping over right now.
No, you're good.
I remember later when I decided with DJ Titus and my other good friend Javon Chawwell that we were going to put on our own event, and we're just kind of thinking about people. And I was thinking about you, but I didn't I didn't get your contact number or anything like that. But we were just thinking about maybe if we did some street teams and whatever, like who in the city, who would be good to talk to. But we didn't have a way to contact you. And I was trying to explain, it's like, man, there's this dude at the social club, and he had really good facial hair. That's how I was referring to you to Titus. Titus like, man, who are you talking about? I didn't know your name. Couldn't remember your name. Didn't remember your name or anything.
Yeah.
But man, that's how we met. Social Club Misfits.
Yeah.
Line.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a great night too.
Yeah.
They always come through, put on a good show. Marty and Fern, shout out to them, and everything. That's actually how exactly met, man. And then next time we met again was at 1K Few.
Yeah, dude. When I saw you, I'm like, man, what's your I didn't want to ask for your number or anything because I didn't know you that well yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I thought it'd be easier. Like, are you on Instagram? Like, what's your handle?
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did, but we did exchange numbers and everything. And man, so we definitely have that bond with Christian hip hop music.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How did you get into liking the music? What's the origin of that?
All right, so let me start first things first. To be honest with you, man, for me, I got into it because he's always been my favorite all time. He's from Cross Movement, the Ambassador.
Okay,
yeah,
Ambassador.
Yeah, that's
man. So what year was this?
This is probably around 2013, 14-ish. I was sitting at home one day, listening to music, Pandora at the time.
Yeah.
And then, Ambassador came on, and it was a song called Jesus. It was from his album From Milk to Meat, and I was listening to it, and I was just like, who is this guy? And I'm like, wow, let me, and I just kept listening, and I listened to the whole album. And then it just, just kind of started building from there, because, beforehand, I was listening a little bit, some Flame, Lecrae, things like that.
Gotcha.
Some KB here and there, and things like that. So, but what really locked me in was the ambassador from Cross Movement. He was, he was my guy. Like it was just the way he told stories, spoke about the Bible, used the Bible, and it's just like, wow, it's so captivating, so that's what really got me into it.
So 2013, you heard the Jesus song Ambassador, but you were kind of, dabbling before. Were you intentionally like putting on Christian hip hop on your playlist, or did like random songs just kind of, pop up here and there, and then you just sort of heard whatever, came on?
I mean, back then I was still, still finding my way, waiting on, that call, when God calls you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was listening, some Christian, here and there.
Yeah.
But not like as of like right now, how, it's just like nonstop, all day, every day, at the gym, this and that, whatever the case might be. So, but cause to be honest, man, like for me, like, listen to the other, other music, back then and nowadays, like I wasn't really fulfilled or filled up as much that I got from Christian music. Like like it makes you more positive, it's not, doesn't make you depressed or negative, things like that. But, Christians, we're not perfect, but at the same time, we have our days, but, having that music there, to say, hey, it's okay, talk about real things, nowadays, that goes on in the world too.
Yeah.
So I just get a lot more out of it. And, I feel like the more I listen to it, the more I can hear God, talking to me, Jesus talking to me, feel the Holy Spirit. And it's a beautiful thing, man, to be honest with you.
No doubt. So 2013, so that's 11 years ago. How old were you back then?
Oh, man, I was probably like 22 at the time, 23.
Where were you at in your Christian walk back then? I know you said you were kind of finding your way. Were you saved then? Or
Yeah.
Were you,
Yeah. I was safe. I got saved, and during that time, I was kind of thinking, kind of like hesitant, like should I get baptized? Should I not get baptized? There's questions, in there, and it's just like, you can't, I guess, like rush it. You just kind of have to, take your time with it, and then be like, when is the right time? But, as God says, don't lean on your own understanding, trust me. So, at that time I was still kind of finding my way a little bit more. And then it was at the right time to get baptized, and kind of went on a little bit from there.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I had to ask how old you were because I couldn't tell. Like, when people got facial hair, like you don't know if they're like 50 or if they're like 16 and they just hit their full maturity early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, it's from a mom's side, to be honest with you, good genes, there.
I can relate, man. Yeah, I'm 45, and like people are like, "What? You're 45?"
Yeah,
like, it's like my mom's Asian, dude. She's from Vietnam, so man, praise God for that. And I was a late bloomer, man. I'm like, I'm 30. When I was in my 30s and I just started having our first kids, I had people knocking on my door. I'm bringing like my second daughter home from the hospital,
right?
And this guy knocks on my door. He had a truck selling like Omaha steaks. So he knocks on the door. We're all coming back from the hospital. And the dude's like, "Hey, bud, is your mom home?" And I'm 33, got married, 8 years, bringing home my second daughter. I said, "Well, my mother-in-law's here. You want to like talk to her, man?" Like, it's like, "Oh man, dude, I didn't know. I couldn't tell how old you were." I said, "How old did you think I was?" He said, "Well, I thought you were like my age." I said, "Well, how old are you?" He's like, "I'm 25.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, "Well, you're 25. You thought I still live with my mom?" Well, I don't know. No, that's good stuff. So, dude, when you got into it was about the same time I got into Christian hip hop. It was 2013. I was kind of on a 10-year hiatus from not listening to any hip hop. So my story of hip hop music started back in the late 80s. I got my first dose of hip hop. I got an LL Cool J album, Bigger and Deffer. I was Beastie Boys, Run DMC, LL.
Okay, the classics. Okay.
In the early 90s. So I grew up in about an hour and a half outside of DC in Baltimore.
Okay.
So I wasn't like in a big city.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you could tune the radio in and kind of pick up, the DC hip hop station.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, then Yo MTV Raps was on back then. So that was kind of how I was getting fed. But I also lived in a project. So I had, tapes were back then. Like, so I had my Walkman and I had my access to tapes and stuff like that. But then as I got into my mid-teens, I started to DJ. Okay. So I had some very primitive AV equipment because, just being Asian, we would do home karaoke. So I'd be the guy running the karaoke, with the fader and all that, playing the music and everything. Yeah. So I just kind of got my hands on, feeding music in and out. And like, man, I love DJing. And my favorite thing when I would listen to the radio, they probably still do it now, but usually like when traffic is the worst, at 5 o'clock, like the DC stations, they would always do like the rush hour mix. So the hottest DJ mixing. And I loved it. So I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to DJ. So I just kind of started upgrading my equipment and like making mixtapes. And then as I got into my later years in high school and college, I started to do gigs. Okay. And that's kind of how I paid my way through college, was DJing. But in 2003, I'm 2 years out of college. I graduated college in 2001. In 2003, I would say I feel like I was probably saved, even though I didn't grow up in church or anything like that. My mom was Catholic, but living in the projects, every church in town had a bus that they sent to the projects. So they're just picking up us heathens. Like, well, what bus are we going to get on today? Right? So we just jumping on a bus and going and I'm sure I said the sinner's prayer a billion times. But never, I wasn't like living as a Christian or anything. But, now in 2003, I'm 23 years old, and I was actually, I was now really seeking the Lord, and had a lot of things going on in my life. And there was this, this moment where I felt like I had this encounter with the Holy Spirit. And that just changed my life. I surrendered my life to the Lord. After that, and I got really convicted on a lot of things, and I knew it was the Holy Spirit. One was my profane mouth. I could not talk without dropping F-bombs every other word. Second was fornication before marriage. Third was the anger that I was carrying, just from the broken home I grew up in with my dad leaving us and just having that anger towards him and everything, and him just like, not even being a part of my life. And then the last was hip hop music. I felt like the Holy Spirit really convicted me of the music that I was listening to, because like 2003, now it's, in the late 90s, I was a big like bad boy records. Even though, you see Puff now, he's like he gets in some trouble now. But that was like my favorite music. And then I felt this conviction, so I went on 10 years from 2003 to 2013. I would not listen to any hip hop. And it was so big part of my life and me growing up. But then in 2013, I'm living in LA, and the church I was going to, they played this video. It was like a recap video of a mission trip.
Okay, gotcha.
And the background track on the video was "Tell the World," like Lecrae Amala music. And I'm like, what is this music? I never. This song is awesome, right? And so I'm like, Google search. Rap. Christian, tell the world, like trying to figure out what the song is.
What the song
and then
is.
I see Lecrae, I think. And then I start trying to find the music. I think it was like on Pandora, like Lecrae. And so that kind of has how I kind of got into starting to listen to the music. So man, about that time, 2013 was when I really found out that there was this genre called Christian hip hop. So 10 years later, 2013, 11 years later to now, a lot has changed in the genre. A lot of people have come out of it, and there's so many artists. It's almost like there's a mainstream component of Christian hip hop, because there's like the really, really like the bigger names, which I love. But then there's still people like even like locally in Jacksonville. There's a lot of artists. I mean, there's artists coming out all the time, and I mentioned the event that I did. And I put on an event, with some friends, only because I was just a fan of the industry. I'm like, hey man, God kind of put it on my heart. And I'm the type of guys like, man, we live in 2023, 2024. You can pretty much do anything you want. I mean, there's resources and access to things where it just, you couldn't do those things.
Yeah.
Even a decade ago, really.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, let's do this.
True.
Let's do this thing. And I just been meeting people, so many people as I put on that event and like since then, and I just been meeting artists and it's been really cool. So, I'm not sure what the Lord has for me within Christian hip hop, like on my Instagram page, part of my bio saying like CHH promoter. I promoted one event, but I just been a fan, and I know you're a big fan, so I'm glad we can kind of share our love together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So 2013 Ambassador, like kind of walk me through the next 10, 11 years, kind of like who you started listening to, what you liked, and things like that.
Man. So like, went from like the Ambassador, then it kind of started leaning, to some Flame, of course, some Flame, his album Royal Flush, Captured, things like that. And then, I mean, Flame, Lecrae, Andy Mineo, like, I mean, okay, so with Andy Mineo, part, at the time, part of the 116 crew and everything, I was listening to still listening to Pandora, and his song Neverland came on, and like I'm listening to it, I was like, I was like, okay, it's pretty good, and then like when he went into that flow, I was like, oh my gosh, and then like from that point on, I started listening to a lot of Andy Mineo. Yeah. So off his album, Heroes Not for Sale. That was another incredible album. My favorite song on there was Ex Enliano. I can't really say, it's like a Spanish term.
I know it.
Yeah. So that was I have to say that was my
Paisano's Violin.
Yeah.
The one with Marty.
Yeah. That too. And but I mean, that was my favorite song, off of that album. And then my second favorite one was Superhuman, the intro, the first song, that. And then after that,
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go.
Andy was my favorite.
Yeah. Oh.
Like as I got into it, and like 116, I mean, I like Lecrae for sure.
Yeah.
But man, I just loved Andy, and I love Social Club too.
Right.
Like I don't usually buy music.
Yeah.
But I did buy like Andy stuff, and I did buy Social Clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were my most favorite of everyone who I started to get to know.
Okay. I see. Okay. I guess I see the minor league,
Man,
I got mine at home, so.
Okay. Did you go to that show?
Yeah.
At the Landing.
Yeah. When the social club Misfits.
Yeah, it was Social Club, Andy. It was the Friends and Family tour.
Yeah. And actually, to be honest, man, that was my first Christian hip hop show ever I went to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the very first one.
Dude, I got VIP ticket. I usually always buy VIP ticket because it's not like buying a VIP ticket to Taylor Swift. Like, you get regular admission ticket for $25,
yeah,
or you can buy VIP for 50.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll spend $25 more.
Yeah, right.
But I never did VIP to any show ever.
Right.
So I didn't know when to get there.
Yeah.
I just got there like normal time.
Yeah.
And that line was so long.
Oh yeah.
And then when I finally got up to the front, and I'm like, hey, she's like, oh, you got a VIP ticket? I'm like, oh, you missed the VIP. It was like 2 hours ago. I'm like, what? I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there was instructions, but I didn't see it. But they did let me. I think I got the shirt from VIP.
Okay.
And I think I got like they had the headband, the yellow headband, and the wristband with the minor, with the M on it for the minor league.
Okay.
So I did get my swag, but I missed the meet and greet.
Oh man.
I didn't know because I never did VIP ever in my life.
Right.
But man, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So Mineo, you love that dude. I love that dude as well.
Yeah.
That was, he's still making music and everything. But man, I want him to drop like another really big project.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved all the recent stuff. Like when he was doing the Jackson Pollock, where he did that TikTok challenge. Where, it's not like I was gonna jump on there and do my freestyle. But
hey, you never know, man. You could have got a lot of credit for that, bro.
I don't know. But the thing is, there were so many good ones.
Yeah.
But then they always picked, like people who are already like artists.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
I get that.
Maybe because they didn't want to pay some random dude like royalties on the song, get someone who's already on a label. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So when did you become like a KB fan? Was that kind of the same time, or was that later?
No, that was just a little bit later, but it was kind of around the same time. Because one of my best friends, who's like my brother to me, Berto, he's like you like Christian hip hop, right? I was like yeah, bro. So he played it was off what was that? I can't remember the name of the album. I gotta look it up now. Be honest with you, real quick. So,
like what year was this?
This is probably. This off his Weight and Glory album.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
100.
No, Weight and Glory. Open Later. No, wasn't. Hello, song okay. Hello.
Okay.
He played me that song, and man, like that was it. Like I was like. I was like, who is it? He goes, this is KB, bro. I was like, his name sounds familiar. I heard a little bit of stuff here and there, but when I heard Hello, man, like, Hello, I was just like, that was it. That was it for me. Like that was when I was a fan of KB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. KB, he's definitely one of the best. He's like, I don't know, like the amplification of his voice.
Yes.
It's that like his voice is so like professional.
Yeah.
For an MC, but then his wordplay and his lyricism is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely like top tier.
Oh yeah.
I would put him up there. Like Andy's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think KB, Lecrae obviously.
Yeah.
But like all those guys, like you can't. It's hard to make someone like number one. The one's like 1A.
Yeah.
1A, B, 1B, 1C. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
But when you here's a funny thing that you told me when we went to the KB show. Yeah. And you bought that hoodie. Yeah. And you were like, hey, man, I think I might go buy a second hoodie for like working out in. Yeah. I thought you were joking. Like, man, like really? Like you gotta, and they're like expensive hoodies. They're like 150 a piece or something. I don't know. Yeah. 65, 75, I don't know.
Yeah. Around there,
Man, that's like commitment. Like, yeah, I got to keep one like clean, no sweat stains. And I got one for, representing at the gym. Yeah. Yeah, but you always get the swag at the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's, to me too, it's like, it is swag, but at the same time, like, when you're out and about somewhere, like people see it, I get compliments like, hey man, I like that shirt, man. Like I like the meaning, stuff like that, and just the, something that small, it's really nice. Cause it's like, wow, like, you're kind of a light to them, like, what I mean? And things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, KB, like, I mean, now, oh my goodness. Like, so I had a question for you. If you had two artists to do a collaboration song that's never collabed before, what two artists in the Christian hip hop music as of today would you like for them to do a collaboration
that's never
on?
Collabed, man. Okay. Do you have you can put me on the spot? Do you have two? As you're saying it, then I'll think of my answer. Okay. All right. So you tell me yours, and I'll respond with mine.
All right. So hopefully, KB, you watch this. To be honest with you,
KB is a sub, man. He's always watching the Free Factor podcast.
So for me, I would love for KB and the Ambassador to do a song together.
Oh yeah.
Because I put a lot of thought into that. When we went to the show, we couldn't, when we were doing the Q&A, didn't ask.
Oh, were you going to tell him that?
Yeah.
I was going to your question to him.
Yeah, that would be my question, because for me, like, I mean, just the way the storytelling, the how they do things together as far as their music wise, I mean, just imagine those two together. Like, I mean, I think it would be a really good collaboration.
Yeah.
It would be something special, at the same time, and I mean, the flow, things like that. And just, the singing, it's just like, it makes you wonder, like, man, like that would be something amazing to see. So, KB Ambassador, hopefully you guys are watching this, hey, if you guys do a collaboration, just let us know. Cause I'm down to listen, man. Down to listen for sure.
All right, I got my answer.
Okay.
It's gonna sound like a joke, but it's sort of kind of serious, but it really isn't.
Okay.
All right. It's gonna come out of left field.
All right.
And maybe I have to preface this. Maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
Lecrae and Kanye.
What?
Yeah. So before Kanye like went off the rails.
Yeah.
Dude, when Kanye came out with Jesus is King, I don't know your thoughts on it.
Oh yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah.
I truly felt the Holy Spirit in that album, especially the song God Is.
Yeah.
Where he's singing.
Yeah.
Dude, I can listen to that song all the time.
Oh yeah. That would be a good collaboration to think about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean Kanye, phenomenal artist, things like that. Things, over the years he's put out, College Dropout, things like that. I mean, I was vibing to it too. It's like, how, Through the Wire, like, for me, that's my all-time favorite song by him was Through the Wire.
Okay.
That was
a special song.
Yeah, that was a very special song.
Considering all the circumstances and then to put that out, he just signed and then had that car accident. I love Kanye. He's actually my favorite artist.
Okay.
And I pray him for that dude. I know he just really kind of fell off.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I don't know if you watch Ruslan's content. Ruslan KD, he's a really big kind of Christian hip hop kind of YouTuber influencer type of person.
Okay.
He's well connected in the industry, but I kind of feel like he is like, obviously I've had to, kind of not, I'm praying for him. I don't support him kind of where he's at. Cause he's
I got you.
Like, he's doing a lot of blasphemous things.
Yeah.
But, man, I just pray that he does come back around.
Yeah.
Cause I truly felt the Holy Spirit was working on him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In that season, and he unfortunately his roots were very shallow.
Yeah.
So his faith wasn't strong. But I do feel like it was genuine.
Oh yeah.
He was professing the Lord.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It's a big change now.
Yeah.
But so I said that joke. I think even Lecrae did like an April Fool's Day joke.
Oh yeah.
It's like new song.
Yeah.
Like me and Kanye.
Yeah.
And I like fell for it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's April 1st. Come on, how can you fall for that?
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's the same thing, with the whole Diddy situation that's going on, me and, some of my coworkers and some of my friends, we discuss it, but through it all, man, like, I still say, hey, I'm praying for him, that, he'll come around, things like that. Cause, it's, in some ways too, like it is hard in a way, to see something like that happen, especially like through all this long time and how long he's been working really hard to really get where he's at, and then for a small incident for it just to come crumbling.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that, and being Christians and men of God, we want the best for everybody, and let them know that God has a plan no matter what. We're gonna mess up, we're gonna have our days where no one's perfect, but having the man up above, that's all you really need, man.
Yeah.
And and now in this world today, people need that light, man. Because as we see and things that are going on, and everything's getting really dark, and stuff like that. So people need that, man.
Yeah. Who's your? We'll do like a list real quick.
Okay.
Who's your like top 5 Christian hip hop artists?
I knew you were gonna go there.
Mine's easy.
Okay.
So Andy.
Okay.
What up, RG?
All right. Yep.
Oh man, this is hard, man.
See,
Hovey.
Now you feel like me,
Dude, I love Hovey.
Oh, of course.
Hovey, KB is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like one of the most solid when it comes to his bars and being biblically aligned.
Yeah.
Hovey is like that,
Yeah.
but his thing is just like straight worship.
Yeah.
I mean, even his songs.
Yeah.
Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
His song Altar.
Yeah.
I mean, you went to the Hovey show.
Yeah. The Beautiful Tour. Of course.
That was 100% worship from start to finish.
Oh yeah.
It was a huge worship.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I love Hovey.
Yeah.
Just he has a good sounding voice when he's singing.
Mm-hmm.
His rap voice is fire too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And these are all, I can't do 1 through 5. These are all just ones.
Okay.
So Andy, RG, Hovey,
Yeah.
KB,
Mm-hmm.
Fern.
Ooh.
All ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
1 through 5, they're all ones.
All right. I'm feeling that. All right. So for me right now, my man KB, when HGA 2 came out, like, that song Glory Glory, like when I heard just snips of it, but then when I heard the full song, I was like, yeah, this man ain't playing around. So
It's like he's attacking, dude.
yeah.
Like it's like he's punching people in the face with how he's coming out, man. That's how hard his stuff is.
Yeah,
and
man.
he's not like a hardcore rapper.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it just comes out hard.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Fire.
That's another reason why, it's dangerous Jesus, if you think about it,
Yep.
because, he wasn't playing around and when the album came out, I was driving, I'm listening to Intro to Glory. I was like, okay, it's, it's a little different than he usually does. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, what's going on? And when that beat dropped, the background music and the trumpets and all that, like, it was just so captivating, so beautiful at the same time, because it's just nothing but that Holy Spirit, and also to God, like, when it dun, 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 and you hear the trumpets, like I had to pull over, I'm thinking like, Jesus is coming back, bro, because you hear the trumpets in the
sky, like,
I'm looking in the sky like,
time,
wait,
Lord.
and it's just amazing, like something that's so small in a song is so captivating, because you actually can hear it, things like that. So, like KB, Hovey, of course. It was awesome meeting him at the show. That was a highlight of my life. One of the highlights of my life, should I say? Who else? Zonti.
Oh,
yeah, man.
I did not go to his show when he came to Jacksonville, and I so regret it.
Oh, it's
that
okay.
Song. I love the song Jesus Found a Way. The intro, the beat. Man, I can't think of it. But yeah, man.
No, you're
Zonti. So I should have.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a hard commitment of something else, but
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I won't go.
Right.
Man, I should have went.
Yeah, because I definitely went to that show. Got the whole VIP and everything. But man, like meeting him, like, was awesome. Like, man is so down to earth. He's definitely, all about the Lord, things like that. And, he was playing a couple of his, songs that he was coming out with when he was going to drop his album, We Already Won. And it was just like, he was just another guy in the crowd. He wasn't like all like flash, like flashy, like, things like that. Like, it was pretty cool because we all got in a circle and goes, have y'all heard this song? And like, just interacting with him and, he's bringing that energy and things like that. Like, it was just so captivating, it's just like, man, like I never met him, one day in my life. And it felt like I just knew him forever, because he was so personal like that. Same thing with Social Club Misfits, Marty and Fern, they're really cool guys too. Zonti's definitely up there. Some people have been saying, oh, he's changed now because he's signed to is it Atlantic?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, he's not changing. He's still the same. I don't, as far as I'm seeing, I seen on his Instagram stories, he still has the Bible open, he's reading it, things like that. So, and I think the most beautiful part about it too is like he's showing that you can make it in the music industry. What happened to sell your soul? Like
Absolutely.
that's so captivating.
Yeah. No, that's the way it should be, because I mean, we don't need to like go through Illuminati conspiracies, but you gotta look at some of the people in the secular mainstream and how did they get there? Probably selling their soul has a lot to do with it.
But at the same sense, I do pray for those people.
Yeah.
In the music industry, because I know it's not easy, things like that. So, KB, Zonti, Social Misfits Club, they're definitely up there as well. I don't know the rest, but
I mean, that's four.
Yeah, four.
You got Marty and Fern.
Yeah.
KB, Zonti.
Yeah.
Oh, that's five.
Yeah.
Five.
Okay.
All right. Man, I want to talk about Gator Jag.
Oh, here we go.
15. It's 15 for Tebow.
Yeah.
It's not. I was right. Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking like, what is it? Yeah, that's your handle, Gator Jag Boy. You also got the same name as NBA player Darrick Favors.
I
You looked
knew
that
was
guy
coming.
up? Do you know?
Yeah. I looked him up one day because one of my friends sent me a text, and he goes, "Hey, bro, I didn't know you play in the NBA." And I was like, I looked at the name. I was like, yeah, it's just about the same,
Yeah,
but
it's,
his is with the E, mine's with the A. That's the only thing. So, I did get that a lot though. I definitely got that
he
a
had
lot.
a long career. He probably still is in the league.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he could be
probably
Yeah.
over 12 years. he's
Yeah.
been in the league.
probably 12, 13 years. I say at least, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do watch. You got his poster. You got his jersey. You wear jerseys with his favors, right?
See, I was almost gonna buy the jersey. I was almost gonna
you
do it,
should've.
but I never did. But hey, you never know. I could look it up, man, and get it one day.
So there's no professional athletes that I know that has my last name DeVore,
Okay.
but there are some with my first name Scott.
Yeah.
So back in the 90s when I was in high school, there was a player named Dennis Scott who played
Okay.
for the Orlando Magic,
Okay.
who was actually from my hometown of Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh.
So I
okay.
had my girlfriend at the time, I'm like a sophomore in high school.
Oh,
for
yeah.
a birthday present.
Yeah.
She got me a Dennis Scott jersey.
Oh, nice.
It had Scott on the back.
Okay.
so it's close enough.
Yeah.
But no one. It wouldn't have been the same if you had Darrick Favors, the basketball player's jersey.
I got
Your
you.
last name.
I got you.
But man, you are a Gator fan. You are a Jag fan. That's all right. That's where we're gonna take this conversation to now.
Okay. All right.
Man, where did the love for both of these franchises come from?
Whew. So starting with Florida, for me, before the whole Tim Tebow era, things like that. For me, I would have to say Emmitt Smith.
Oh man, that's way back.
Yeah, Emmitt Smith. And then after him, Fred Taylor, of course.
Oh, the legend.
The legend, of course. And then
I mean, Emmitt Smith is more of a legend, but here in Jacksonville, Fred Taylor is a legend.
Yeah. Danny Werfel a little bit.
Okay.
Here and there.
Quarterback guy, yeah.
During that class. And then like after that, just kept up with them, over the years here and there. And then here comes, this young kid, Tim Tebow, and for me, it was more for him off the field versus on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That was and his leadership, his chemistry with the team, and how, he was a man of God, he was, about the Bible.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, it's like, my life is just not football. I have more to give outside of football, also, spread the gospel, spread the word, and it was captivating, he was just remarkable, I mean, I have to say he's definitely one of the if not greatest, the most impactful college football players, athletes, that has ever stepped on a football field, college football, whether it be not for the Gators or any other college team he could have went to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So I'm not from Florida.
Okay. But
I respected the Florida program during that era. And so this was, when was he went? Like 2005? What years was Tebow?
He was there around probably like 2003, 2004, I want to say. Maybe somewhere around there.
So the men's basketball team, they won the back-to-back in 2004, 2005, I believe.
Yeah, that was when Chris Leak was a quarterback at the time.
Okay.
Starting quarterback, and then Tim Tebow came in, and they kind of...
So was that after, did they win the football championships after the basketball team had their run, or was that the same?
That was the same time.
It was the same time, yeah. So I remember... the reason why I remember the Florida Gator men's team is, so I'm living in Fairfax, Virginia at the time that happened, and this little old school, George Mason University, had a run to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And they faced off against the Gators in the Final Four matchup, and they ended up losing, obviously, and the Gators won the national championship. But the George Mason... they had the closest score of any team. So it was just a great run to be in Northern Virginia, just outside of DC, while this Cinderella story was unfolding while I lived there. My wife went to the same school. She went to George Mason University. So it was just like phenomenal. So I remember that very, very specifically. Because I love watching the underdog. But then the Gator men's team had that run. But then I really respected Tebow. And I'm going to kind of fast forward a little bit. Because I have two daughters. Both are going to be in high school next year. One's going to be a junior. My youngest will be a freshman.
Nice.
And as they were getting older, we start talking about colleges and stuff. And I'm thinking, man, I would really love for my kids to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Over Florida State.
Yeah.
And my point of reference is Tim Tebow, Jameis Winston. Who is a better model, right? Respect Jameis Winston. And then he kind of turned things around a little bit in the pro. He was actually making a comeback. Then I think he got injured. But you got Tebow here. And then you got Jameis Winston. I think he, again, if I'm speaking wrong, correct me. But I thought he had like sexual harassment. Remember he stole the crab legs.
Things like that.
Stuff. And again, I'm sure you think about, well, you could say, well, Tebow, his era, they had Aaron Hernandez, who eventually became an NFL player who murdered somebody. But I definitely, I probably like Florida Gators more than Florida State. I did actually, growing up in Maryland, I did like Florida State when Charlie Ward was the quarterback. Because I was a Knicks fan. He actually, Charlie Ward played for the New York Knicks. That was crazy for this dude to win the Heisman, not get drafted in the NFL. Then he goes on and has his long NBA career. It's weird. I play basketball, so I'm usually okay. Again, I don't get it right all the time. I can usually look at a college basketball player and see that they will be a good pro. But I can't do that with football. I can't look at a quarterback and be like, pro. He's going to have, he has the intangibles. I can't look at Drake May and say, Drake May is going to be a superstar for New England Patriots. Or Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was supposed to be the greatest thing ever, when he got drafted by the Jets. Not a whole lot happened. And then, obviously everyone knows Brady's story. No one thought Brady would become the greatest of all time. And it comes and wins 7 Super Bowls. 10 Super Bowls, won 7. That's insane. So I just can't judge, but I think I can kind of do it with basketball. But you are, I think you're probably more of a football, I like football, but you probably know more about the intangibles and seeing it than I do. I could be wrong. I don't know.
No.
We never really chopped it up on football before.
You're good. For me, I'm to be honest, I'm more college football than NFL, more than anything, because I I fell in love more the college football side than NFL, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, just learning it, you know, getting it down pat, learning the players, things like that, and seeing, like, you know, be like, okay, he's gonna be an NFL quarterback, you know, just by watching how he plays, reach the field, his IQ, his relationship with the offensive line, his, you know, the running backs, things like that, you know, and so forth and so forth, and, you know, how he is on the field, off the field, you know, things like that. So, I mean, you know, you just pick up on little things and, you know, their character and their personality. So,
yeah. All right, let's talk about Tebow's pro career.
Okay.
Now, I thought Tebow was going to be a great pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, man, that run he had
Mm-hmm.
with the Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
when they finally, like, all right, we got to start him.
Yeah.
And then they did their offense around his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and he just kept come back. And then the Mile High Miracle,
Yeah.
when he threw the 80-yard touchdown
Mm-hmm.
to beat the Steelers. And I hate the Steelers because I'm from Maryland and we despise Pittsburgh.
I got you.
That was like the greatest thing. I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
this is awesome. And then
Payne Manning.
Elway. Oh,
And then
let's
Payne-
sign Peyton. Let's bring Peyton in.
Yeah.
Man, I was so disappointed in that.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't too happy. I wouldn't say too happy about it, but I quite didn't understand it because, like, for me, I would have been like, well, if we're going to be bringing Peyton in, let's let him learn from one of the greatest, you know, that's knows what it takes, and develop him, you know, even more. So when Peyton's done, or just be like, all right, Peyton, we're going to use you for, you know, this and this and this, and then have Tebow come in and, you know, do this and this and this, that type of thing. Just let him learn, like, you know, like a sponge, like let him observe, you know, get used to it. So, you know, if it didn't work out with Denver, you know, they're going to continue with Peyton, you know, throughout the whole time. Then Tebow goes somewhere else. He's like, well, I learned from Peyton, so I can take this and go learn over here, and then, you know, build that chemistry like Peyton does, you know. And to me, I think that would have been a more, I wouldn't say smarter idea, but like just let the man learn.
Yeah.
You know, and if, you know, from my perspective, you know, so I mean, they had the right offense around him, a good offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, everything, you know, and just let them build that chemistry, you know, continue to build our chemistry, you know. Because if it was me, like, oh yeah, I'd be like, yeah, let me learn from Peyton. Like, I mean, whether if I started or not, like, let me learn from this guy before, if you guys move you somewhere else, let me at least learn from him before I moved on, you know. So
yeah, he sold. I mean, he brought people to the games. You know, so the value of what he brought from, as far as, you know, generating revenue for the franchise was, it's almost like, you know, LeBron James' son, Bronny James.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, now he might be the first pick in the draft. Because obviously, you know, the name association, and, you know, might get LeBron to sign with the franchise. That's crazy. But what's your outlook on the Florida Gators this year? And so they've been rebuilding. Right. It's been, you know, I watch them, but I'm not like every game I'm watching. But I know that they changed coaches, a couple years ago?
Yeah, that's been one of our biggest problems, you know, with the head coaching, because, you know, you got to understand, you know, you can't just have a coach for 2 years and then let him go because, you know, this and this and that and that. You know, it takes time. I mean, look at Kirby Smart at Georgia. Like, that man, like, he's like, look, let me get my guys and let me build. And we saw what happened. He got his guys.
He almost won 3 in a row.
Yeah. You know, he got his guys and he started building around the team. And you saw the chemistry. You saw how everything was working and things like that. I mean, same thing with Nick Saban when he was at Alabama. Nick Saban's just like, let me just get my guys and let me just build around them. You know, and so I think that's what hurting us as a program is. You got to understand, like, a head coach can't come in and just, you expect him to, you know, do this and this and this. It takes time, you know, because he's coming in to a new program that's already got this recruiting class and then this recruiting class coming in. So it's like, you got to find where that chemistry is to where the head coach is like, all right, I know I got my guys. So now I can start really doing this and this and this, you know? So I think right now Napier is doing a really good job because I can't remember last time when we've been high in the class for recruiting, you know, to be honest, because, you know, the man can really recruit, and that's what we need. We need somebody who's going to go out and get players, recruit them, you know, and if you want to come to Florida and play, come to Florida and play. If not, you know, then it's okay. You want to go somewhere else, that's fine too. But, you know, you have to come there to show and play. You know, it's just not like, oh, you know, they went 6-4 this season, or they went 5-2 this season, or, you know, they can't beat Georgia, so I'm just gonna go somewhere else. Like it takes more. It takes just more than one player. In my honest opinion. So I think for this season, I think it's on a positive outcome. You know, things are really looking up. I mean, I watched the spring game, and I'm definitely excited, you know, for the running backs. And, you know, Mertz keep doing his thing, showing that leadership. And Napier's doing a really good job for recruiting. I mean, we were like, I think last week ago, we were like number 5 in the transfer portal. You know, so we were ranked number 5. So he's doing his thing, man.
Well, they lost Trevor, the running back.
Oh, Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne.
Yeah.
He goes to Georgia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No offense, man, to Georgia or Alabama. But, man, if I was a college football player, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I never was. I don't have the build, don't have the skill
right.
To be a football guy. Why would you not want to go to Florida? I mean, Florida should be the elite of the elite. It is the best state to be in. It is a great school.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand. Like,
I
mean, I know Alabama, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many championships they won before Saban. I know they won a lot. I know they had a legendary coach before.
It's like six. They've won 18 national championships, I believe, 18 or 19.
But then Georgia. When did Georgia win anything since just recently?
Yeah.
You know, I know they had Herschel once. I don't know if they ever won anything with Herschel. I don't know the history, but man, I just feel like Florida should be like just getting everybody to come.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just love this state so much, and I love the program.
Yeah. No, I get it. You know, I mean, nothing against Etienne and his choice. You know, because he did state like he'd rather go somewhere where he has a chance to win a national championship. Or, you know, SEC championship, which I understand, I get, you know, but for me, like, you know, looking at, you know, the other way too, it's like, you're already starting, you're the second running back, and you're going to be a junior. Just keep putting up the stats you're putting up, because you know, I mean, I know he's going to be a high pick in the draft as a running back. That's just my honest opinion. Whether if he stayed at Florida or go to Georgia, whichever one he did, he's going to be a high pick no matter what. You know, so, but I mean, yeah, you know, it would have been nice if he, you know, finished at Florida, you know, be like, all right, I'm going to go to the NFL draft and, you know, do my thing, you know, whether it's at Florida or Georgia, you know, best of luck to him, you know. So, you know, I mean, it's okay though. I mean, we're still stacked in running backs right now. So, you know, now we just got to build that chemistry with the wide receivers we're bringing in also, you know, a couple of defensive players as well, you know, which I'm excited about too, you know. So I think all in all, Napier has kind of finally getting where the program needs to go, and finally getting his guys to buy in to where we need to be as a program to reach that standard, going back to the SEC championship, getting to the national championship titles again. So he's doing his thing.
You're feeling bullish, positive.
Yeah.
You don't think they're probably going to be winning their division and playing in the SEC championship game, or would you be that bold to think that they have a shot?
I mean, I think we have a shot. I think for us, our main thing is just getting past Georgia this season, getting past Georgia. I mean, I still know that LSU is going to give a run for our money, which I love Florida and LSU games because you never know what's going to happen down to the wire. I also think that Ole Miss is going to be another great competition. Texas A&M, also Miami. You know, first game of the season, August 31st, 3:30. You know, live in Gainesville. I'm definitely being at that game. I mean, I think Miami. I mean, they got a good squad, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Miami is another man. They had like one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yeah.
What was that, like early 90s?
Yeah. Early 90s, 2000s.
Man, they were just
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think they even did like a documentary on
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did. I mean, Ray Lewis and all those guys, I mean, definitely like, yeah. I'm not going to lie, man. That was, woo, that was some serious competition there back in those days. When Miami was in that era too. So
let's turn our attention to the pros.
All right.
Let's talk about our beloved Jaguars.
Okay. Duval.
So we got our franchise quarterback. He's going into his third year.
Yeah, be his third year. Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, national championship winner, freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
They went back his sophomore year
Mm-hmm.
and junior. Did they get?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he played. Obviously he's a winner on the big stage,
Of course.
in college.
Mm-hmm.
Took him to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How many times now in the 3 years?
I think two. I want to say two times. I want to say two.
Yeah.
2 or 3 is somewhere around there.
We're building. We got a championship coach, Doug
Yes.
Peterson.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Yes.
now here's my beef with.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm glad that they got Trevor.
Okay.
Okay, but a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
they signed Nick Foles.
Oh, yep.
Nick Foles coming off of Super Bowl.
Yes.
First game of the year. First drive of the year. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Injured. He rehabilitates himself.
Mm-hmm.
He did nothing to lose his job. And, his backup Minshew's like playing decent.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just won a Super Bowl. And he was injured. He threw a touchdown his first drive and got injured. I just did not understand. I know it's a different coach. I just did not understand. Like how in the world are you not still and you just sign up for big money? That just I still don't understand that whole thing because I thought Foles was always a decent quarterback. And I was actually, when Foles was the starter over Michael Vick, when the Eagles had Michael Vick, I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because I was a big Michael Vick fan.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, you want to share any thoughts on that? We don't have to dwell in the past so much.
No. I mean, I felt like you because I did not understand that either. Just won a Super Bowl, beat the Patriots at that when everybody was saying, who's the starter at the time for the Eagles before Foles? I can't remember top of my head. Yes, Wentz.
Yeah.
So when Wentz got hurt, everybody was saying the Eagles have no chance. They're like, Nick Foles, he's just back up. He's not going to do anything. I'm like, are you guys crazy? Like, this man has been with this team for the longest. He knows the offense. He knows the offense, by hand.
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator knows how Nick Foles plays. And what happens? They go all the way through. They get to the playoffs. They win the playoffs. And then they get a Super Bowl. And they're like, oh, he's not going to beat Tom Brady. I'm like, okay, y'all watch. And what happens? He ends up beating out Tom Brady. Yeah. So.
So he did play one more year in Philly.
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
Yeah.
He now becomes a starter again.
And
driving they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like he was ready to pull it off again.
Yeah.
The guy is a straight winner.
Yeah.
So then the next year is when the Jags signed him. But still, he's almost brought him to the playoffs again. They needed him, called him in because they had no one else. Mm-hmm. And he almost pulls it off. So then he goes to the Jags and that happens.
And then we just oh yeah, we're just gonna let him go. I'm like, why are we letting him go? Like that's not a smart thing to do because honestly, if we kept him, all we had to do was just keep building around him, let him get healthier and keep building. I mean, who knows? We could have made a Super Bowl run or we could have made a playoff run. But I still, to this day, I don't understand why. Like, oh yeah, we don't need him. Let's just get rid of Nick Foles. He's not the guy. Like, what? Like, so I mean, I still have a little itty bitty scar from that, just a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, me too. But now we got Trevor.
Yeah.
Going into his third year.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting better every year.
Yeah.
Did we win the division last year?
No, we didn't.
We didn't make the playoffs last year. 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
we won a division.
We took a step back.
Yeah.
Last year. We didn't re-sign who was the receiver who they signed last year? And we didn't re-sign him.
Yeah,
Ridley.
Really.
So lost a great option. But man, surprisingly, his hands weren't so good. Down here, he had so many drops, and he's elite of the elite. I don't know, maybe it's just his age was getting to him.
Yeah.
But what's your outlook this year on the squad?
So, I mean, I know we got a phenomenal wide receiver that we picked up, which was a good pick. I can't remember his name on top of my head at the moment. He's from LSU. Yeah, Thomas Jr. Yeah, so I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think we'll have a good run to win the South, but I'm scared of Houston right now because CJ Stroud. Oh my goodness! Like, I mean, if they get that offense still clicking the way it is, and they're continuing to build around them, like they're going to be scary. Tennessee, I think Tennessee might give us a little bit of run for our money.
Yeah,
because
Vrabel is a great coach.
Yes,
I'm surprised they had a down year last year.
Yeah. But I mean, also, a big shout out, to Calvin Ridley, getting the deal he got with Tennessee. I mean, I think he definitely deserved, that deal when he went to Tennessee. But I mean, other than that, I think we'll have a good chance as long as they keep building that connection, with the offensive line, wide receivers. I think for us, the only thing we're missing is that bruiser back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because back then, I mean, when you had Fred Taylor, then you had Maurice Jones-Drew come in. You had that dynamic duo, man. It's like, which one's gonna be harder to stop?
Yeah.
So I kind of wish we signed Derrick Henry, man.
If they would have signed Derrick Henry, that would have been one of the best storylines in sports in recent history, in recent memory.
Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, because I mean, watching him at Alabama, I'm just like, man, that would be a nice, little piece to add to the running game for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He's the scariest running back I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
him. So big, so strong, so fast, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, also another scary back in the lead right now is McCaffrey from San Francisco.
Yeah, but he's not that big. I mean, he's so elite.
Yeah,
and he's not even that big. What he does is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, if
I saw McCaffrey
credible
in the street, I probably wouldn't be afraid of him.
Yeah.
If I saw Derrick Henry in the street, I would run the other way. No, I'm not taking anything away from McCaffrey. It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the top 5 running backs in the league right now. So, but I mean, I do like our chances. This season, make it a good run for the playoff. They just. Offensive line tighten up a little bit, take some pressure, off of Lawrence. ETN, does what he does. It's just we just need that bruiser back, man. I mean, I understand, Bigsby, he just came in the league too from Auburn, too. So, but I think at the same time, they gotta let the kid play a little bit more, like let him get some playing time, kind of. I mean, if you got to use both, Be like Bisbee, we're going to use you, run through the hole. ETN, run through, run through the hole, go out, to the outside, this and that, or put both of them back in there, mix it up some more, give them, give the defense, something to look forward to and be like, okay, so he's coming in, like, which way the play is going, things like that. So, but I do like our chances, this season as well as for Jacksonville. But I'm telling you, man, like Houston, oh Lord, help us, help us when it comes to Houston, man. So
let me ask you this last question on this topic.
Okay,
and it's about Trevor.
Okay,
where do you think he's going to end when his career's over? Is he going to be like one of the best Jags ever? Is he going to be one of the best pros ever? Like, what do you see his potential landing?
I mean, to be honest, like watching him back in the Clemson days, and how he performed on the field, his IQ on the field, how he reads defense, his audible plays, you know, and things like that. And he's so locked in, you know, of everything, film studying, you know, you can see it. I mean, I think sky's the limit for him, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, he's a phenomenal player, great arm, you know. I mean, there's sometimes I even wonder, like how do you make that throw? You know, like, you know, just threading in there, you know, between two defenders, things like that, you know. But I think he definitely has the potential to be, you know, one of the greatest, you know, not only Jags players ever, but also, you know, Hall of Fame, things like that.
Oh,
you know, I could, yeah,
high expectations. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could maybe see him, you know, winning, you know, 2 or 3 rings, you know, here and there, you know. So he's phenomenal player, in my honest opinion, you know. So I have high hopes for him in the league, you know, on and off the field as well.
Okay. Trevor, you heard it, man. The Hall of Famer right there. He has high expectations. I do too. I think you could be a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they should have signed Tebow years ago.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping for that too. I don't know why they didn't want to. I mean, can you imagine that? Tebow, Fred Taylor, MJD in the background. You know, like, I mean, it's like, who are you gonna tackle?
Yeah,
you know, that just be my thing. It's like, who you gonna tackle? You know, if you tackle Maurice Jones-Drew, you know not to tackle his legs because he's not going to go down. You know. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I wish they would have signed Tebow at that time, but unfortunately they didn't. So,
it's wishful thinking. He was fully retired now. It was cool to see he almost made it when Urban Meyer, Trevor's first year, when that was a disaster with Urban and Tebow coming in, trying to become a tight end.
Nah, it wouldn't. I didn't see it working out too well. I mean, my honest opinion, like him, because you got to think about it. He's played quarterback for so long, and him to go to a different position as tight end. I mean, that's going to take some time, maybe a little bit of years, you know, to learn and learn the routes and how to run it, you know, things like that. And, you know, the assignments of who to block, who not to block, you know, in certain plays, you know. So, I mean, it was interesting to see, you know, because, you know, people are like, oh, it's, you know, the reason why he got it because he's Tim Tebow. I was like, no, like that man was working, you know, to get a spot in a roster on the team, you know, just like, you know, anybody else, you know, that's trying to make that 53 man roster.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't really, I don't think it was technically just given to him. So
it was exciting thinking about the possibility, but like being a true Jags fan, you know, you kind of get let down.
Yeah.
But man, we got a lot to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, potential Hall of Famer career. You heard it from my man Darrick Favors here.
Definitely.
Gator Jag Boy 15.
Yes, sir.
On Instagram. Darrick, man, I really appreciate you coming through on the Free Factor podcast where we could chop it up on the Christian hip hop music scene. Our beloved Florida Gators, our beloved Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Peace out.
Peace.
Real interviews, real guests, no actors. Real talk, get prepared for Free Factor.